Welcome to Inside the Sound Chamber. My name is Don Simmons. Got a wonderful guest right now. And yoga is a practice that's been going on for what I would consider to be thousands and thousands and thousands of years. It's only been called yoga, however, probably only a couple of thousand years. Yoga is really something that's magical, that's mystical, that's transformative. And the guest today, Noelle Segal, is here to help us break down the awareness of yoga, sound, music, and how all of this comes together to really bring benefit to body, mind, and spirit. I want to welcome Noelle. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Don, for having me.
Absolutely. So, if you would just give us a little clue how you found yoga, what is your path, and how does sound mix in with this?
Well, I was a child that always grew up with music around me and good music.
And there's right. That's not.
Yeah, I was a 70s baby.
Oh, perfect.
But I got into yoga during one of the most challenging times in my life, and it was the only time that I felt I was being held and actually felt like I was healing myself. I lost a child, and it has led me on a path that I found that I can help other people, and it fills my heart. But then along the way, I actually learned about sound through Beth and Nancy at the shop about, I would say, 18 years ago. And yeah, by my daughter picking up a mallet in the shop and hitting the largest heart chakra sound bowl ever.
Wow, right.
And it ran through my body like I couldn't even imagine.
Mhm.
And my journey with yoga and sound began to grow together. And it helped me, and I learned how to help other people with it. I've been through many different teacher trainings to learn. I have gone through practicing Bikram to power yoga to, you name it, hatha yoga to yin restorative. And I went into a teacher training and went to go do it for myself, and I came out as a teacher. And it was something very out of the box for me because I am very much a quiet person, or I used to be, I should say. And so I took another 200 hours and to deepen myself more and got certified in more. So hatha yoga is my primary base, which is very traditional yoga. I don't like to say alignment anymore because what is alignment, right? Even with sound, it's whatever feels good. That's an alignment for you at that time and day. But I am also a massive advocate for restorative yoga, yin yoga, meditation, breath work, yoga nidra, you name it. I'm even working on things with women with menopause, how the world is finding out more about women's health. So,
Right.
all of this with music and sound comes into huge correlation as we all evolve. So, and that's how I got here today.
That's really awesome. What a great journey that has taken you from the darkness into the light, so to speak.
Yeah.
And there is this amazing transformation that takes place with yoga. And I do believe, I think of sound as sort of like a pathway that gets information into the body and soul.
That
It,
movement can't.
right, right. So describe to me in our conference coming up, you're going to be doing how the benefits of sound with yoga. So
Yes.
talk to me a little bit about what are the benefits of sound with yoga, and how is it separated, or how does it benefit? How does yoga benefit through the work of sound?
Well, for a very long time, I'll be honest with you, Don, I practiced with no sound. Our body makes its own sound. I learned how to practice with the rhythm of my breath. And I feel the yoga world has pulled away from that because traditionally it was a breath, and it's called like an ujjayi breath, that oceanic. They even called it an oceanic sound in the back of the throat as you inhale through the nose, exhale. Mm. It's beautiful. And as we know,
Would you repeat that again? You
oh,
froze.
the ujjayi breath is named like an oceanic breath. So it's inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose, and you feel this light raspiness behind the throat. And in a room, you might start off hearing breaths in all different rhythms. Just like if you gave everybody a drum in a room and everybody started tapping the drum, eventually everybody comes into rhythm. Well, the same thing happens with breath work and yoga. So I am a huge advocate for sound in yoga, knowing the slower and softer the beat, no matter how quickly or slow you want somebody to move, their nervous system is receiving those hertz. Because sometimes when you open the body up, you don't realize that sometimes you're releasing energy that was stored in you for a very long time, and it can bring up memories. And if you're in a class that there is music with words and lots going on, sometimes it triggers things that it shouldn't, like memories that maybe are traumatizing to you. You don't know who's in a room with you. And I feel that it's important as a yoga instructor that we are conscious of how our students are feeling, taking awareness that we don't know what every person is going through on their yoga mat. And we need to have that courtesy for them to be better teachers, to honor the actual real practice of yoga.
How can you discern what would be the right sound or music? Be it a
Uh,
crystal bowl or music, a certain kind of music. How do you discern that just from your audience?
well, I like to always pull in the sound of nature because that's soothing. And I always tell my teachers to try to work with 432 megahertz. Um, you know, I've been doing it for so long, I feel it in the room. And sometimes it's just reminding students, like the movie Dirty Dancing, how Patrick Swayze taught Jennifer Grey to listen to the beat of her heart, not the music, to move together. And that's how you begin to synchronize with your students in the room and allow trust to allow them to follow you on this journey.
Got it. Do you use in your practice, do you use Tibetan bowls, Himalayan bowls rather, or crystal bowls,
I
drums?
use a little bit of everything.
Uh-huh.
I have some Tibetan bowls. I personally love Tibetan bowls, but a lot of people love the crystal. A lot of times I use chimes. Um, Chimes seem, you have to be very careful, I've noticed with chimes, because sometimes it brings up childhood memories for people.
Mhm.
So if anything, if I'm not sure who's in the audience, I always root to the Muladhara, the root chakra, because of that universal sound. So it depends who's in my room, Don. It's really hard. You have to feel it to see it, and you have to read the energy in the room too. And you could do that just by watching people breathe. I mean, if you see that they're anxious on the mat, or everybody's really chatty before a class, or if everybody's just laying down on their mat, you know that you're going to have to start so much softer, or if they're chatty, get their attention quickly, get the gong out, get the vibration moving through the room right away. So I can't particularly say, but I've noticed for my students, the crystal sound bowls seem to be the most beneficial to them.
Do you see or can you recognize how this the different sounds, like you were saying, affect them differently. In
Mhm.
regards to yoga as a practice of enlightenment, as transformation, is there you feel any particular sound that is more beneficial?
You skipped out just a little bit on me.
Okay, is there any particular sound that is more beneficial for that yoga transformation as it affects the body? Not necessarily the chakras, but at the same time, the energy centers of our feeling safe or loved or, open spiritually. Is there anything like
Anytime
that?
I have any type of music with birds, um, or I would say water, that brings a sense of like calmness to them. And I sometimes leave that very lightly on in the room when I teach a meditation or breath work. Um, because people aren't used to silence. And I think there's no such thing as silence. Like our body is never still. Our intercostals are always working for us, right? The
Right.
heart's beating, the lungs are working, but people don't realize, they take that for granted, that we have our own sympathy going on through our bodies. So when I do that, they're able to help slow the parasympathetic nervous system down a lot quicker. And you notice that by their body language. It's so beautiful. You see the shoulders drop, you see their hands press against their chest. Those two particular sounds I just can never go wrong with.
So really what you're doing is you're creating the ability for people to sort of harmonize with the sounds or with the music to bring it down or take it back up. And
Yeah.
so it really is about being conscious of what's going on.
Oh, yeah, because it's not my practice, it's theirs.
Right, right, right. That's awesome. Well, we're looking forward to your presentation. Can you tell us more about what you will actually be doing for your presentation on Sunday?
Sure. I want this to be a class that is attainable for everybody, even if you don't have yoga experience. I encourage you, if you've never taken a yoga class. I promise you'll feel as comfortable as possible, and I I hope I can harmonize the two together to bring these worlds together, because it's so very important, that I hope everybody leaves with a greater knowledge, but a great sense of love in their heart, feeling what I am able to give them in that hour.
That's fantastic. Now, so you say basically anybody can come. It's not just for yoga teachers, it's for
Right.
everyone.
Mhm. If you
Because
need a chair, if somebody needs a chair,
Mhm.
if they need a knee pads or whatever, I'm going to bring some stuff with me. I am used to teaching multi-level classes. I sometimes I get multiple generations that come to my studio, and it fills my heart the most. I'll get like great grandma, grandma, mom.
All right.
Oh my gosh, I have pictures of people along the wall, a whole family, and I just talking about it makes my skin rise. It makes me so happy. So I don't want anybody to be hesitant to reach out to me, even if they're worried about taking class, because I promise them it will be a great experience.
That's fantastic. I really appreciate it. I think it's going to be a really great thing. And, it's really important for us to understand how the frequency and vibration and sound really is a natural part of who we are. And when we can really um, create that entrainment between our internal sound and an external movement,
Mhm.
how we're really more in harmony with the earth.
And
Yeah,
that's what we need.
yeah, we really do, don't we?
Yes.
The nature has got it right. We're
Yes. Yes, it
now, if we
does.
can just follow nature just a little bit closer.
Every day I
Mhm.
try to.
Absolutely. Is there anything else you would like to add in regards to sound, music, yoga, what you're doing?
Um, just I'm really excited just to share the benefits, Don. It's just it's going to be an experience. It's going to be like taking a little ride, you know? I'm excited. I hope somebody's able to I hope anybody that takes this class can take something with them and learn from it.
That's
So, yeah.
perfect. Noelle, thank you so much for being here, for doing the work you're doing, for expanding, people's consciousness to include the work of the body and the sound within them. So
Thank
thank
you. Thank you.
you're welcome. Thank you, and we will see you again soon.
Yes.
So.